Hare Krishna. So, welcome everybody to the Saturday class, Bhakti Shastri class. We are on chapter 9, and this chapter is mentioned as the most confidential knowledge. So, the last time we saw that how fools and impersonalists they consider Krishna um, as an ordinary human being, and the Mahatmas they are constantly worshipping Krishna with devotion. And then we saw about the three types of Gyanis and uh, how the three kinds of Gyanis worship Krishna by cultivating knowledge. And then Krishna is continuing to mention how the various universal manifestations are connected to him. We'll quickly have our Manglacharan and start our class with the 19th shloka. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanaşalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Tadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamvitamsha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So in this 19th shloka onwards, in fact, he'll continue, that Krishna is the all-pervading and, ultimate shelter, and he's the cause of all causes. So over here he's saying, in the 19th shloka, he's saying that, Tapami aham varsham, nigrahanami utsrijami cha, amritam chaiva mrityuscha, shad asach chaham Arjuna. So he's saying that, oh Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. And if you see, the word-to-word translation where it says that, tapami aham. So tapa means heat. So I am giving that heat. Aham varsham. So I am the cause of the rains also. And nigraha nami utsrijami. So it is I who, hold back the rains also. And it is I who send the rains also. And then he's saying that Amritam chaiva mrityuscha. So it is I who is mortality and I am death also. And then he's saying that Sad asach chaham. So saying Arjuna, I am only that matter, I am only that spirit, and it can be the cause also and it can be effect also at various places. So the point here is that we see that everything in this universe it is connected with absolute truth. And even from the point of view of this material science, the sun is very critical for existence. And because sun is giving us heat also and light also, without which we cannot survive, of course. So Krishna is saying that it is I who give heat and energy. And that is why we need rains also to survive, right? So it is Krishna only who is providing this water also. And it is Krishna. So for example, if there is torrents of rain throughout the year, how will, somebody survive? But he is withholding also. So Krishna is, here is taking this conception into a more broader term, because in the previous years we saw that some terms of positive also we did see. And because he said that I am the aham bija prajapita, I am the shelter also, I am the father also, I am the well-wisher also, I am the maintainer also, I am the destination also. So we see Krishna in the positives of the world. But what about the negatives in this world? No, there are positives and negatives that we see, in every person also and in everything also. So we see that when rain is coming, it is good. But when rain does not come, we say it is bad. So if the rain is coming by Krishna's will, then that rain is not coming is also Krishna's will, right? So here the point is that we have to understand that Krishna is neutral. That of course Krishna has spoken in the 9th shloka also. He says that udasina vad asinam, that whatever creation and maintenance and destruction is happening, it is like a judge who is overseeing, but not having that emotional agenda against anyone. So he is detached, he is unbiased, he is neutral. And that is why we see that both positive and negative manifestations of Krishna are seen over here. That is why, if you see, devotees learn to see Krishna both in positives also and negatives also. In reversals also, the devotees learn to see Krishna. And even in good times, devotees learn to see in Krishna. If something good has come, devotees say, oh, it is Krishna's mercy on me. If something reversal is happening in their life, oh, it is Krishna's mercy again, so that I can intensify my devotional life. So, Prabhupada mentions that when there were bombs falling on in Calcutta, so Prabhupada saw that also, that Krishna is coming, but that was not a very pleasant form of Krishna. So devotees see Krishna everywhere. So the meaning of Krishna is coming is not that Krishna is on the side of, the Chinese or the Japanese, but the power of death is also manifestation of Krishna. So, whenever for pure devotees, whenever there is death coming, they said, "Oh, Krishna is coming in the form of death," because where Krishna is saying Mrityu, I am only, mortality, I am only death. So they are seeing, so that is why Krishna gives the knowledge by which this immortality can be achieved. And also one who does not chooses, he will continue in this cycle of birth and death. So that is why even if you see in the seventh chapter, how matter and spirit both are energies of Krishna. Para and Apara Shakti are both Krishna's energies only. And Krishna in the same chapter said that whatever is existing in the material world, It is a combination of both. And para and apara, matter and spirit, both are coming from Krishna only. And so in this way, Krishna is helping us to see everything in this material world with a spiritual vision. So that is why in the Vedas it is called Vishwa Rupa Upasana. But see, over here, Krishna is revealing something very important, which is not often known to many people. So when he's saying Vishwarupa Upasana, that is like when normal people do Vishwarupa Upasana, they do not know that Krishna is the one whom they are worshipping through Vishwarupa Upasana. And that is why, if you see in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, when this Vishwarupa Upasana is spoken, okay, in the second canto, the first step in God realization. And from that first step, all the later steps will come. So it is the first step which is start. With the first step, a person starts thinking about Krishna as the manifestation of this, gigantic manifestation. But here Krishna is helping this Vishwarup Upasaka in understanding that actually whatever you are seeing in this material world and whatever you're seeing around you is actually everything is connected with me. And all this is ultimately going to lead towards me only, towards Krishna. So, Krishna is the ultimate goal of all this, And if you see in Srila Prabhupada's purport also, that see, Krishna is both matter and spirit, the gigantic universal form compromising all material manifestation is also Krishna, and his pastime in Vrindavan as two-handed Shyamsundar playing on the flute are those of the supreme personality of Godhead. That's what Krishna is saying. So let's go to the next. And ahead he says that त्रैविद्या मां सोपमा पूतनापा पूतपाप यज्ञैरिष्ट्वा स्वगैर्गतिं प्रार्थयन्ते ते पुण्यम् असाढया सुरेन्द्रलोकम् अस्नान्ति दिव्यान् देवी देव भोगान्. So he's saying that those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. So, if you see this word-to-word translation, so now Krishna, has will speak about this Pitra Paksha, and that is why he's speaking about Pitra Ke Teva Buddha, those who are worshipping the Devatas, but they are worshipping me indirectly only. And that is why he's saying that Trai Vidya Vidyaha. Trai Vidya means the three Vedas. Okay. Because earlier also, Krishna has spoken about Rig Ved, Sama Ved, Yajur Ved, and he's saying that I am these three Vedas. So somebody might question that what do the Vedas teach? Okay. So they primarily teach of doing all karma kand rituals by which one can attain, Swargaloka. So that is why he's saying that Trai Vidya Mam Soma Pa Puta Papa. So Soma Pa means those who are drinking Soma Ras. And Soma Ras is actually a kind of Amrita drink, not exactly the same that Amrita which was got when the churning of that ocean was happening. But this is a drink which is actually you can say conducive to attain Swargaloka. That means what? the sacrifices that are performed at the time, Soma is also there as a part of that sacrifice. And by drinking that, one gets punya, means pious activities. Okay. So in this world, there is too much of intoxication, we know. And when people drink, people take intoxication. And it leads to a very terrible tamoguna. And it leads to, somewhere temporary, people go mad. Sometimes you've seen that somebody drinks and he comes and beats his wife and children, and he commits murders, and also that is like, can say a state of madness where people choose to undergo. But Soma is, the Soma Ras is a very entirely different normal material intoxication, which takes our consciousness down to tamoguna, whereas like the Somras, it is taking the consciousness upwards. And that is why I said that it is like a special drink where you will be getting punya by drinking that Somaras. And this Somaras will take us towards Sattva Guna. And of course, the drink is in itself very delicious. Of course, मैंने तो taste नहीं किया हुआ है, but whatever I've read in the Shastras, it is people love the taste, they enjoy also. And again, what does this Somras do? It is stimulating these senses for enjoyment, but within the framework of dharma. And that is why he's saying that Soma Paha Puta Papa. So these people who will drink Soma, they will become purified of this, whatever sins they are doing, all that Papa, they'll become purified of this Papa. And that is why Yagner Ishtva Swagatim. So they are actually worshipping me. Krishna is saying they are worshipping me through Yagna. And that is why this word Mam is very important. Mam means they are worshipping me only. Okay. And because what is their goal? Their goal is to go to Swarga, for which one has to acquire punya, or what do you say, pious activities, right? And no, it is not wine, Prabhuji. It is some sort of a juice. Yeah. So, and then he's saying, Swagatim uh, Praharthayante. Sorry. Prathayante. Prahar means, to beat somebody. But Prathayante. So, by doing this yagya, and they drink some Soma Rasa, so one is actually praying, or one is aspiring for going to this heaven. And that is why he's saying that Swagatim. And then Te Punyam Asadya. So when they acquire sufficient amount of punya, then what happens is that Sura Indriya Lokam. So Surendra Indra Lokam means that they attain the Sura Lokas. Sur and Asur we know. Sur means what? जो भगवान के सुर में सुर मिला के चलते. Those who actually work on the injunctions of the Supreme Lord, they are called Suras. And Asuras, they do not abide by the injunctions of the Shastras or abide by Krishna's instructions. They are called Asuras. And that is why they attain Sura Loka or Sura Indra Lokam. Okay. And Indra, then they're saying that this Indra Loka, then Ashnati Divyan Divi, right? So they are saying that they enjoy all these celestial, heavenly pleasures. And that is why, if you see this word, there is Divyan, celestial, right? And this Divya word can have many meanings actually, where, Divya will refer to even celestial also, and Divya will refer to transcendental also. So, if you see, um, like we have three existences. One is the terrestrial, that is on this earth, we have an existence. We have a celestial existence, means a higher material heavenly planet. And then we have a spiritual or a transcendental existence also. So, Bhagavad Gita is not, we don't study Bhagavad Gita to seek for some higher material pleasure, but we seek for higher than material happiness. So what is higher than material happiness? That is that spiritual or transcendental. That is why saying that Devi Deva Bhogan. Devi Deva means actually is referring to heavenly, and Divi means heavenly, and Bhui means, earthly pleasures. So Deva Bhogan, the pleasure of the God, that means that which is enjoyed by all the demigods. So here people are, in this particular shloka, what Krishna is saying that here people are aspiring to go and enjoy in the heavenly planets. And Krishna has earlier also spoken about Karma Kanda. They're going to heaven and they go and enjoy. In the second chapter, we have seen that. And there he has said that people who want this, they are avipashchitah. Yam imam, what is that? Loka? It is 2.42. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Yam imam something. I'm sorry. Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipashchitah. Right? Vedavada rata partha na anyad asti vadinaha. So he has said that they are not very, discriminating people. But over here, right, in this particular shloka, Krishna is not trying to give discriminating capacity over here. He is telling that they are actually worshipping me only, but the problem is they are not worshipping me directly. They are worshipping me indirectly through the worship of the devatas, and their desire is to not come to me. Their desire is to go to the heavens. So Krishna over here in this shloka, he is saying that even these karma kandi rituals are also worship of him only, but it is not done in the consciousness of Krishna. So it does not lead to the attainment of Krishna, or it does not lead to, Krishna prema. This is what he's saying in this particular shloka, the 20th shloka. Okay, next, what is Krishna saying? The 21st shloka. He's saying that Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam shine punyamartilokam vishanti evam trayi dharmam anu prapanna gata gatam kama labhante. So he's saying that when they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly pleasure, and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. So, see, he's saying that what happens to such people who go to the heavenly planets? So, then what is happening? He's saying that te tam bhuktva. Te tam bhuktva means they will enjoy. Okay. And what they will enjoy? Swargalokam Vishalam. This Vishal, this vast, this large, happiness of Swargaloka, they will enjoy. But then what will happen? Even if they are enjoying, what will happen? Shine Punya Martya Lokam. Shine means when their Punya is exhausted, their result of their pious activities is exhausted, then what will happen? Martya Loka Vishanti. Vishanti means fall down. They will fall down or they will come back to this earthly planetary system. Okay, Martya Lokam, to the mortal earth. Okay, this. And in this way, what happens is that what is this? What is the overall nature of this particular journey? So he's saying that evam trai dharmam anuprapannam. Evam trai dharma means in this way they will follow this trai dharma, the three Vedas, Rig Ved, Samaved, Yajur Ved, and because in the previous verse also, Trai Vidya, Vidya Mam Soma Papa Puta Papa is mentioned. So Trai Vidya is that is the three Vedas that has been spoken. So Trai Vedya will be here also. So those who are doing this dharma, artha, and kama, because they don't aspire for moksha. So these three things, those who are doing that, so these three levels in these three purusharthas. Purushartha means actually endeavor, okay? Endeavor for dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Okay. Evam trai dharmam anuprapannam. The three doctrines, when I'm saying three doctrines, means only dharma, artha, kama. Okay. And they are going to anugataha. Anuprapannaha, when they are going to follow this, right? And gata gatam kama kame labhante. So this gata gatam means what? Gata gatam means the cycle of birth and death. Okay. And they just go on. Kama kama labhante. So kama kama is like, desiring for sense enjoyment. And see, previously also in many of the shlokas we have seen, that the kama is desirer of some desire. Desire of maybe lust, desire of enjoyment. But those who desire sense enjoyment, labhante, so they will get, what they will get? Gata gatam agatam. They will get the cycle of birth and death. So Krishna, even in the second chapter also, if you see, he had spoken about this na kama kami. So you will not get, so who will get peace? For those who desire to come in this, come in this river, coming to the ocean, but will not be disturbed by them. That person will attain peace, and not the person who is desirer of the desires, like this kama kami vyakti. He will not get, this. So that's how, Krishna is telling that very carefully and very clearly that ultimately the whole, if you see the system of demigod worship, is telling that it is centered around only karma kanda. And karma kanda is futile. Futile means, bekar, means आपको कोई इतना फायदा नहीं होगा. You're not going to gain something from that. And it may lead to some temporary benefit in terms of, enjoyment. But actually, if you see an intelligent person, for an intelligent person, anything that is giving a result which is less than the eternal is actually less intelligent. Like, for example, if I am getting a rasgulla, why will I go for khichdi? Right? So, because we want a everlasting happiness, we don't want some temporary happiness. So, when best is possible, then why should we go for something, very less? And Krishna will be telling, worshipping him is much easier. Now, of course, in the ninth chapter only, he'll be speaking in the 26th shloka, is then Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, then this ritualistic way of worshipping. So then why not go for that? And worshipping him in that way is also eternal. If, for example, if somebody is a part of the ocean and it is very stormy, and he looks at the other part of the ocean and he sees that, oh, it is very calm over there. So he will put a lot of effort and he goes there. But any part of the, ocean, the storm will come sooner or later, right? So why putting so much of effort in going there? Similarly, when people try to improve their material position, it is of no use only. It is just turbulence uh, and a whirlpool is continuously there in this material world. This material world means only a place of miseries and dukhalem or shashvatam. There is misery everywhere. There's turbulence everywhere. There are whirlpools everywhere. Now also we saw that then when there was no water, there is problem. When there is water also, excess water also, there is problem. So sometimes a person is in a very comfortable material situation, but that is like, someone, some people are in an ocean water, and they're facing a problem, and someone is like on the iceberg, and right now is safe, like, he's thinking, oh, I'm very safe. But as soon as the sun will rise and this iceberg will start melting, suddenly the person will fall in this ocean. So rather than the comfortable material situation, one should seek for a destination of comfortable spiritual destination. And that is what, Krishna will speak in the next shloka. He says, this is the first, you can say, drop of bhakti where Krishna has dropped the first drop of bhakti in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. He says that, and we've heard this shloka many, many times. It's like a very wonderful shloka, one of my favorite shlokas. He says that Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Jana Paripashate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. He says that, but those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So now Krishna is going to contrast demigod worship versus pure devotional service. And then he's saying that, because see, if you see the whole flow of the chapter, Krishna time and again, is comparing that how only Keval Bhakti is far superior than demigod worship, or only Keval Bhakti is far, superior than um, uh, how only Keval Bhakti you can, but developing Keval Bhakti by, gaining knowledge about Krishna. So in this particular 22nd shloka, he's saying that this Keval Bhakti is very superior than demigod worship. And in the next section from 29 onwards, he will say that how this Keval Bhakti will elevate even a person who is most fallen. So that is why he's saying that Ananyas Chintayanto Ma, one who is fixing his mind, Ananyas Chinta, Ananya, कोई दूसरा चिंतन न करते हुए, अन्य कोई चिंता न करते हुए, right? No. Or Chintan means, thinking about anything else other than Krishna. Ye janaha paripashate, for those who worship me in this way. And then Tesham nityam vyuktanam, those who are constantly absorbed in devotion of me, or those who are completely fixed in devotion of me, for them, what does Krishna do? Yoga kshemam vahamyaham. I protect what they have. Okay. And I protect what they have, and I provide what they lack. Vahamyaham. I provide what they lack. So if you see, this verse is a very fantastic verse in terms that it is showing that how Krishna is personally intervening in the life of the devotee, or how Krishna is personally taking care, which Lord takes, personal care, which the Supreme Lord takes for those who approach him personally, those are approaching in a very devotional mood. And we see that even in the, fourth chapter, where Krishna says, Ye yathamam prapadyante tam tathes bhajamyaham. No, as people surrender to me, I will reward them also accordingly. So Krishna is elaborating here the principle by telling that if someone approaches me with devotion, means Krishna with devotion, he will reciprocate accordingly. He takes it as his responsibility to take care of that particular devotee. Not just responsibility, but it is his personal responsibility. Vahamyaham. I, personally do that. So we should not think, that we should not think this is like, a business arrangement. Why Krishna is making such stiff demands, or Krishna is saying that you have to do chintan of me and then only I will take care of you. No, because this word ananya, if you see over here, when I say ananya, then only I will do this for you. Yoga kshemam vahamyam. See, it is like, it is not, we might think that it is a business arrangement, or it is a deal between, two people. But the point here is that Krishna is trying to reciprocate with the devotee. And when he's saying that Ananya's Chinta, okay, so when he's saying Ananya, because see, क्या होता है ना, if somebody is all the time serving one person, okay, I'm daily serving one person. Daily. I don't think about any other thing. When I wake up also, I think, okay, how will I what will I do? How will I keep the things neat and clean for that particular person? How will I wash the clothes for that person? What will I cook for that person? And all the time, my, chintan is actually on that person. So definitely one or the other day, that person will reciprocate with me, right? If you see also even in the material world, okay? All these old people now, sometimes they don't have children, or their children are not there, they have died, or they have gone to America or some other part of the world. Okay. So what happens? The one who is taking care of that old person at the time, the fag end of his time. Okay, maybe that person has taken care of that person for 5 long years, or 3 long years, or 10 long years, or something like that. Then what happens? That person becomes obliged. कि अरे इसने मेरा 10 साल से सेवा किया है, and that person who is serving now is given his life, soul, blood to that person and taking care of that person. So what that person does na, while dying na, he puts that whole will in his name. कि अच्छा इस पर्सन ने मेरा बहुत सेवा किया है. My own sons who are my blood relations, they have not done anything for me. So what happens is, this person, those has served for last 10 years, 5 years, everything he puts in his name. And then his original sons think, hey, we didn't get anything. But if you see, the point here is that it is a reciprocation. And कृष्णा बिकम्स ओब्लाइज्ड. अनन्य चिंता, ये किसी के बारे में 10 साल नहीं सोचा, सिर्फ मेरे में. नाउ इट इज एन ऑब्लिगेशन. एंड फॉर कृष्णा ऑल्सो, कृष्णा इज ऑल्सो ओब्लाइज्ड कि अरे इतना सेवा किया हुआ. एंड दैट इज व्हाई व्हेन ही सेइंग अनन्य चिंता मीन्स व्हाट, naturally one is fixing his mind on Krishna, because when a person loves someone or Krishna, then naturally he will fix his mind on him. He's bound. So this is like, he's bound by love of Krishna. And this is what Krishna is actually talking about. Like if you see even in Mother Yashoda, okay, Mother Yashoda's constant, chintan, or constantly she is thinking about Krishna. Her mind is completely, every nanosecond is fixed on Krishna only, right? And this is what Krishna is saying, that किसी के बारे में नहीं सोचते हुए सिर्फ मेरे बारे में जो सोचता है. And then he's saying that this Ananya's Chinta is actually a demonstration of that love. So those who love Krishna, naturally Krishna will love them. This whole material world is an expression of Krishna's love, or the love of Krishna for the living entity, where the living entity can fulfill their desires and come back to him for that eternal happiness. But those who love him, he will naturally reciprocate with him and love them more. So sometimes now somebody might think that we may think, so now we may think that constantly thinking about Krishna is so very difficult. But we have to understand that it is a discipline, it is a practice. And the wonderful thing about Krishna is that the more we think about him, the more we become purified. And when we become purified, naturally we will get attracted to Krishna. And this, or the all attractive Krishna will manifest to us. We will fall in love with Krishna. And that's how, by thinking about Krishna, uh, uh, it will become a very natural state. It will become a default state. Right? Somebody has a default state. Okay, as soon as he sees Rasgulla, he puts it in his mouth. Okay, it's a default state of a person. But for us, the natural default state will be to love Krishna only, not anybody else. That much. बोलते ना, उसको बोलते ना, हिंदी में बोलते नशा हो गया मुझे. तो किसका नशा हुआ है? कृष्ण के नामों का नशा हुआ है, कृष्ण की सेवा का नशा हुआ है. कृष्ण के रूप माधुरी का नशा हुआ है. Intoxication. You're intoxicated with the names of Krishna, form of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, Naam, Gun, Roop, and Leela of Krishna. You become completely intoxicated with that. And then thinking about him, it becomes so much, natural for us that it becomes habitual also. It becomes, and because of that habit, we become very joyful, blissful, and that is why we have chosen Krishna very consciously. It is sadhana for us at our sadhana stage. As such, give me 1 minute. And as soon as the devotees don't have to think about anything else, immediately the mind will go back to Krishna. So for us, this particular verse is showing us that how much of love is there between Krishna and his devotees. And purer the devotion, greater is the reciprocation of the Lord. When he says Yogakshemam Vahamyam, you know, if you see the life insurance company also, the LIC also has Yogakshemam Vahamyam. But the life insurance company cannot insure our life. Someone else will get the money when we die. Right? Nobody can insure life at a material level. At the material level, ultimately, what we get is death. And the real life insurance is when we attain that eternal life. And that insurance or assurance is provided by Krishna. But Krishna is telling here that my blessings are provided not just at the material level. Once we started caring for someone, we don't differentiate, this at a very soul level. So, Krishna is saying that here I will care, but this is at a bodily care. Sometimes we care for a person at a bodily level. So, I will not care at a bodily level, and we will completely care about that person, his emotional well-being, his material well-being, and everything. So, Krishna also cares for a devotee as a complete person. Now, of course, he will care more for a soul naturally because the soul is a real person. But Krishna will take care of the material need also. कुछ खाना पीना चाहिए, कुछ पहनने के लिए चाहिए. When that is, means if it is required, he will take care of the material need also. So Krishna is telling over here two things. Okay. I protect what is required and I provide what is lacking in that devotee's life. And if you see in this world also, there are two fears that people have. One is, if I have something, it will be stolen away from me. And we have that fear that what I need, I may not get, right? Or I may not have. Like, for example, when somebody has some money in the bank, which is, through digital, through internet, right? Which is based on internet. So there is a fear that, okay, if my PIN is stolen, or if my account is hacked, I will lose everything. Or if I fall sick, then I don't have good health insurance. Then, people will not treat me properly. So these are genuine fear, which people will have. So Krishna is telling here that I will take care of this also. And that is why he's saying Yogakshemam Vahamyam. So if you see, normally when we say yoga, yoga is used in the sense of connection. We use another meaning for of yoga as like, Pashyame Yogam Aishwaryam. Like in 9th chapter, in this 5th shloka only we saw that Yoga Aishwaryam, this is the mystical opulence of Krishna, he's saying. He himself says this is my mystical opulence. So yoga means actually connection. So the connection which Krishna is extending to us, that is also Yoga Aishwaryam. And that is why Srila Prabhupada is actually translating over here as yoga as a requirement. When we say yoga, we say connection. But over here he's saying that requirement. And Shemam means protection. So what is actually it is meaning over here is that whatever is required for yoga, whatever is required for connecting to Krishna, I will provide and I will protect that also. And that is why these are the two assurances Krishna is giving, and when Krishna assures, it is not something, in the air like the political leaders have. We'll give this and we'll give that, and they don't give. And then people have to stand outside their offices and they have to beg, hey, you had assured us that you will give us, the food and shelter and this and that and money and everything. And now we are here. We voted for you, but now you're not giving us. So not Krishna is not giving, those false assurances. Krishna is saying that if we take care of the whys of life, he will take care of the house of life. Whys of life means WHY. Okay. Why am I suffering? Why have I come in this material world? Why am I not doing bhakti? Why am I not connecting to the eternal? Why am I, in this material world? Why am I not in the spiritual world? Then he say, okay, how can you come to the spiritual world? Come to ISKCON. Okay, how can you, attain me? Chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, means what? Why am I living for, why am I living for this? So, for example, even when we question that, why am I living? Am I living for the sake of service of Krishna? Then Krishna will make all those details of how things work for us, right? Now, of course, it does not mean that we become very, you know, impractical and, we leave everything and all that. No, we have to be a little practical also. And that is why, uh, uh, it is said about like, Srila Prabhupada also that his head was in the sky. Like whenever you see Prabhupada's picture, his head will always be in the sky. People will think, hey, his head is in the sky, such a proud person. But no, his feet were on the ground. And that is why Srila Prabhupada spread Krishna consciousness. It was a step-by-step thing. One thing at a time he did very systematically. So in the same way, we can also, practice Krishna consciousness, and we can practice our Krishna consciousness services with faith in Krishna's protection and provision. He's providing, that is provision. So the devotee does not demand so much, does not demand this protection and provision. And that is why, how? Even if you see in Srila Prabhupada's life also with 40 rupees, that time 40 rupees, he was having those 40 rupees, and that 40 rupees was also not even convertible into dollars. That rate was also not there. But with that 40 rupees, he went to USA. And and in that time also USA, it was not um, you know that 40 rupees could not be utilized also in USA to buy something, right? So, and that is why, uh, if you see that Prabhupada brought back that 40 rupees, and from that 40 rupees, he grew to a, you can say 400 billion, organization, and having so many temples all around the world. So that is why, if you see that uh, Prabhupada was having 40 rupees at that time, and 40 rupees was not even convertible at that point of time, right? And as that time, there was the trade between even India and USA also was not very high. So Prabhupada, brought back that 40 rupees. And he gave that 40 rupees. I'm just trying to recall whom did he give that 40 rupees. He gave that 40 rupees to a rickshawala in Chippiwada. While going to Chippiwada residence, in Delhi. And the rickshawala had taken more money than he was supposed to take. So Srila Prabhupada practically took that money and bought it back. So he did not use that money also. He took 40 rupees to USA, and as it is, he bought that money back. And still he was able to build a worldwide mission movement, because of this Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Because who has provided him in USA? Krishna has provided that thing in USA. So, somebody might question that, is this provision only for Krishna's pure devotees? So, Krishna says, no, not necessarily. Because if you see, in the example of Srivas Thakur also, who was just clapping 3 times to maintain himself and his family. He was having so much of confidence, and Lord Chaitanya had said that even if the goddess of fortune becomes poverty stricken, you will be provided whatever is necessary. And of course, it's a very rhetorical statement when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this. It's not that goddess of fortune will become, poor or something like that, or goddess of fortune can never become, poverty stricken, but the Lord will provide for those devotees who will devote themselves. And we don't think in a very, in practical terms. The point is that we should think only in practical terms when, certainly, of course, we have to think practically if we are doing something, whether we have, financial support, whether it is going to work out or not. We'll evaluate, the pros and cons also. And we'll do, of course, in the companies, how we do a SWOT analysis. So all that is, very basic, that which will be done by us. But beyond that, we will not think only in practical terms, but because ultimately we have faith in Krishna. And we also know that Krishna can work in miraculous ways. So when he's saying that Yogakshemam Vahamyaham, when he's saying that I will protect also and I will provide also, of course, this verse, apart from its overall, very motivating message or inspiring message, is also seen that where Krishna in the previous 2 shlokas is saying that all those who are doing karma kanda will go to heaven. They will also accumulate a lot of punya, but that will not last for a long for them. And for them, there is nobody providing. They may go to actually Swargaloka, or which is Swargaloka is also called Surendra Loka. But when punya will get over, they will fall back. Shine punya martya lokam vishanti. So Krishna said, it does not happen to this to the devotees. Devotees वापस नहीं आएंगे. So here again Krishna is revealing his personal intervention and his personal role more as Bhagavad Gita is actually progressing. So in the second chapter also Krishna is saying, the, what is the shloka number? 40th shloka. Here only it is. Neha Bikrunasit Pratyavayana Vidyate Swalpami Dharmasya Trayata Mahadvayatata. So Krishna said that one will achieve this spiritual path, uh, one achieves this spiritual path, then there is no loss. It will not reduce. And Krishna is saying that for this principle, it is not not that same impersonal law that is acting. It is Krishna personally intervening. Krishna is saying that I will ensure for my devotees that there is no loss or diminution. Now it is applying for those spiritual credits also. हमने कुछ किया है तो हमारे पास एक spiritual bank balance भी है. We have a spiritual bank balance also. And we are more interested in fulfilling our spiritual bank balance rather than fulfilling the material bank balance, right? So, Krishna is saying that uh, it it is all round that I take care. Sab kuch all round aspect of a person, I will take care of him, I protect him, I provide him. And the devotees do not demand anything from the Lord. Devotees will kya karenge? Only simply serve the Lord. They focus primarily on this service. Because even see, when Srila Prabhupada, he went to America, he was not primarily thinking that how will I earn a living over here. He never thought about that. How will I, manage my finance? How will I, share Krishna's message then? And, as in, so also, I have to arrange to manage myself. No, Srila Prabhupada did not have all these utopian, things, and he struggled. He has struggled to live in India also. He was practically homeless when he took sannyas. Even before sannyas, in the Vanaprastha ashram also, he was staying in some well-wishers or family, his well-wishers who are his extended family, they were staying, and uh, he was changing houses continuously. So, and how he was changing his houses so continuously that very fast, even his mails could not catch him. So Srila Prabhupada was aware of the practical difficulties. But Srila Prabhupada was not exhausted or dejected by those practical difficulties because he saw beyond that the hand of Krishna and the protection of Krishna, the empowerment of Krishna. So we have this determination that I am here to serve Krishna, and how I will be able to do that, that will work out actually when we try to do something challenging for Krishna. Then we will find that Krishna does help us and that Krishna empowers us. Initially, things may not be working out, but may not be working, or somebody might think that everything is falling apart. But later on, Krishna reveals, this is how I make things work out. And in this way, Krishna is protecting also and providing also for his, devotees. And that is why you see in Prabhupada's purport also that his only desire to achieve, his only desire is to achieve the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Where is that? Okay, somewhere it is there in the purport that is only desire is to, achieve this of uh, the association. So when then such a person, such a devotee like Prabhupada and many more other devotees also, they undoubtedly approach Krishna without any difficulty. And then that is why, uh, sorry, okay, we are seeing in the, no, I was seeing in the second chapter, we have to see in the ninth chapter purport, where Prabhupada is saying that, so that is only desire to achieve the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty, and this is called yoga by the mercy of the Lord. Such a devotee never comes back to this material world again. Kshema refers to the material protection, right? So, and that is why the devotee of the Supreme Lord, he goes, and uh, worships only Krishna, serves only Krishna, thinks about only Krishna, and that's how he marches ahead towards Krishna. So let's see the next shloka. This is the 23rd shloka, right? Yeah. So here he'll speak about, the wrong way of worshipping Krishna is demigod worship. And now Krishna will talk about demigod worshippers. How are they, how are they contrast with the pure devotees? One thing he said it is that it is temporary. Whereas devotees ke liye he will protect and preserve. But again, he further develops this contrast. He says that ये अपि अन्य देवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धायान्वितः ते अपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्ति अविधि पूर्वकम. This is a very important word, avidhi purvakam. So he says that those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. So it is exactly, that they are worshipping the demigod, but ultimately they are worshipping Krishna only, but they are doing it in the wrong way. Okay, that way. So he's saying that ye api anya devata, those who are devotees of other devatas or demigods, devata or, and he's saying that what is happening to them, yajante shraddhaya anvitaha, they worship faithfully. Okay, and te api mam konteya, so they also yajante mam, they worshipping me only, but they are doing it in a avidhi purvakam, they are doing it in a improper way or a wrong way. So Krishna is completely or clearly differentiating mam and anya devata bhakta. So he's saying that anya devata bhakta. Okay. So he's saying over here that yajante shraddhaya shraddhaya anvitaha. They worship me with faith. They worship me with shraddha. So if you see, even in the 7th chapter, Krishna has spoken about demigod worship, right? And Krishna has spoken about demigod worship, where he said that I only give, Shraddha by which they can get elevated and then they can come to me. So, for example, that example, if you remember, where this prince has gone from that kingdom, and this king wanted to get him back, right? So what he's doing, he's sending his ministers, and he's sending his ministers that at least get him, to the kingdom. And the prince is working with this minister. So it is a vidhi purvaka, means what? A prince need not have to work with the minister. He can be with the father happily and lovingly, serving the father. That would be more better situation for him. But unfortunately, people do not do that. So all we have to very much understand that, see, Krishna is like that king, and all these demigods are different ministers, and they have been given different departments. Indra, Vayu, Chandra, all different departments in, and somebody is the minister for rains, and somebody is the minister for air, and as such, all these 32 crore demigods that are there, they are different departments. Imagine, one state has got how many departments, but Krishna has 33 crore departments. So, if you see that, there are so many commentators of the Gita who translate this particular verse, and they translate this last part, that is the avidhi purvakam, completely they remove it only. So, because this last part, this avidhi purvakam, is removed entirely. So what they put is those who worship uh, other god also worship me. This is called, they misinterpret actually the Gita. And they misinterpret Gita because it is a very, if you can see, it is a very uh, proper example of the misrepresentation of Gita's message. Because um, what they are saying is that when somebody is worshipping the demigods, indirectly they are worshipping, somebody who is beyond God, right? And Krishna over here is saying that they are worshipping me, but worshipping me in a wrong way. So many people, have this idea that there should not be a conflict. Otherwise, people will question us, and then there will be a conflict, and they'll not be able to resolve that conflict as such. So somebody might ask that, is worshipping, God as same as worshipping Krishna? And if you look at the Bhagavad Gita also, Srimad Bhagavatam, it doesn't say that Bhagavad Gita takes about, Anya Devta and Mam, and, Krishna has talked about this earlier also. He has talked about those who worship the Devatas, where they are less intelligent. In the 7th chapter only, they are Alpa Medasa. And he says that they do not go towards liberation. They do not go back to that liberation. They stay in this material world also, and they go to the devtas. So it is not that, they all reach at the same destination. There are different destinations for different people. But the important point over here is avidhi purvakam, what Krishna is actually stressing. And how we understand that avidhi purvakam, we will see actually in the next shloka actually we will see. Because see, in even Prabhupada's purport over here, if you see, For example, when a man pours water on the leaves and branches of a tree without pouring on the root, he does so without sufficient knowledge or without observing regulative principles. Similarly, the process of rendering service to different parts of the body is to supply food to the stomach. The demigods are, so to speak, different officers and directors in the government of the Supreme Lord. One has to follow the laws made by the government, not by the officers or directors. Similarly, everyone is to offer his worship to the Supreme Lord only. That will automatically satisfy the different officers and directors of the Lord. The officers and directors are engaged as representatives of the government, and to offer some bribe to the officers and directors is illegal. That is stated here as avidhi purvakam. And Krishna is not approving the unnecessary worship of the demigods over here. So it is illegal. Demigod worship is given in the Vedas only. It is a part of the Vedic culture. So it is definitely, uh, you know, uh, illegal, but it is definitely legal. So why should it be compared to, because it is given in the Vedas, it is legal, then why it is said that it is illegal? It's like bribing, you know. The point which actually Prabhupada is actually trying to make is that it is improper. Demigod worship is not legal from the Vedic cultural point of view. It is also part of the Vedic culture. And Vedic culture has, very multiple level of versions. Those who are in the lower modes, they have, corresponding form of worship and which will interact with, them, and that will elevate them, like tamoguni people, But ultimate, the goal of Vedic worship is to take a person to the level of transcendence, right? And a transcendent person will serve God with, pure love. He has no other desire. And that is why this avidhi purvakam, which Srila Prabhupada is actually mentioning over here, is that uh, uh, from the perspective of the ultimate goal. So even when Krishna says Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam Sharam Vraja, he only is giving various dharmas, which is compromising of this Vedic culture. And then he's saying that please focus on Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Just surrender unto me. And when, see, when, even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Narad Muni is chastising Srila Vyasdev, when he's saying that Swabhava Raktas Juguspitam. So when Vyasdev is chastised like this by Narad Muni, and when he said that, Swabhava Raktas, people are by, nature materialistic. And what you have done is you have sanctioned their materialism in the name of religion. And then what is the result? The result is that people will continue in their material lives birth after birth. And then they are thinking that they are doing it according to Srila Vyasdev's will. And in their name, that is how they will not get Jugutsipin, they will not be elevated. Which means what? It is very abominable action they will keep on doing. They will, it is regrettable. It's so, Narad Muni is using a very, very strong word. And see, when a guru chastises this disciple, who is so exalted. Imagine you have written many Vedas, Upanishads, Puranas, and so many things, and you have got so many name, fame, and everything. And all of a sudden, your guru comes and chastises you that, you fool, you have not done anything substantial for people at all. Even if you've written so many Vedas, Puranas, and, Upanishads as such. So the point is there is that the Vedic progressive perspective, which says that demigod worship is good, but from a transcendental perspective, anything that is short for lesser than devotional service is actually cheating. Narad Muni says that you cheated the people under the pretext of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And that is called kaitav dharma, cheating dharma. Then in the Bhagavatam it is mentioned that you have emphasized more on cheating people, and that is why that is avidhi purvakam. This is what Prabhupada is saying, and Krishna is also saying over here that way. So in the 24th shloka, what is he saying is that अहम हि सर्व यज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु माम अभिजानाति तत्त्ववेनातश्चावन्ति ते. So he's saying that I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize me or recognize my true transcendental nature, they fall down. So what Krishna is saying over here, that he is the Lord of all gods also. He is the master of all the demigods also. See, aham hi sarva yajnana bhokta cha prabhur eva cha. Krishna is telling, of all the yagnas, I am the Prabhu, the Lord. I am the master, right? And I am only the bhokta, I am only the enjoyer, right? Na tu mam abhijanati. Those who do not understand this, right? Those who do not recognize it, what is happening is, those who do not recognize this tattva, tattvena, in reality, athaha chavanti, what happens? Those who do not understand Krishna properly, in truth, what happens to them? They will fall down from their position. So again, the point in this verse is actually they fall down. And that is why if you see, those who are worshipping the Devtas will get punya. They will go to heaven and they will fall back when punya is over. Hai na? It is exactly like that, that you have some 50,000 bank balance. Okay. And you go to Switzerland and you spend everything over here. So your time is up over there. You have exhausted all those 50,000 what you had in your bank. So what you'll have to do, you'll have to come back again, back to your own place where you belong to. You enjoyed there for a certain time and then again you came back to your own house. So in the 22nd shloka, what is saying that those who worship me, I will protect them forever. Right? Krishna is saying that Ananya Chintayanto Ma Yojana Paripashate. And in the 23rd shloka, he is saying that those who are worshipping other demigods are also worshipping me, but it is avidhi purvakam, right? And then he's saying that what is the result of such demigod worship? So Krishna is telling this general principle in this verse, that those who are worshipping the other gods are also worshipping him, but they are worshipping him improperly. He is already told that he's already told that what is the result of worshipping the other gods and worshipping him is not the same. Because why it is not the same? Because of ignorance. That is because of ignorance, they do not know about Krishna's transcendental position. And if we do not know Krishna's position, if we do not love Krishna, then we cannot return back to Krishna, who is our original father, because that is not what we are seeking or desiring. We will get ultimately what we desire, of course, what we what we deserve also, but our desires are important. So Krishna is telling in a very general principle that anyone who does not know his position will not get that ultimate result. He will not intervene in their lives because that is not what they want. Right? Krishna has given a free will. Whatever we want, he will give that. So if we emphasize on this avidhi purvakam, thing that is there, because Krishna is saying that why are they not getting that result, which is available, and why are they not getting that eternal result? Okay. Uh, mm, uh, because they are saying that uh, he is the ultimate bhokta also and prabhu also. That is why these demigod worshippers are not getting that ultimate result, because they want to be bhokta and they want to be prabhu, and that is why they are not getting that eternal result. But when we understand that Krishna is the ultimate bhokta and ultimate master and prabhu, the proprietor, right? Then there is some hope. And Krishna, if you see, in the 5th chapter also, the last shloka, what did Krishna speak? Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram surya sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. So Krishna is saying that this ignorance of his position, and he's saying his position is not some generic, all pervading, which is, accommodating even the demigods also. No, he's saying that I, aham, mam, I have to be understood as enjoyer and the master. Those who do not understand this, then what will happen? They will fall down again. And Krishna is saying that tattvena, we have to understand Krishna in tattva. So, in the 4th chapter, Krishna uses this word tattva again. He's saying that janma karma cha me divyam evam yoviti tyaktvatah त्यक्त्वा देहम पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सो अर्जुना. So, tattvatah, in truth, we have to understand Krishna, and then we can return back to him. If we do not understand in truth Krishna, that is the ultimate enjoyer and the proprietor, and that is why, if you see over here also, he's saying that in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that one should only work for satisfying Yagna or Vishnu, right? Ultimately, all that work is for the sake of Yagna or Vishnu, right? Otherwise, what will happen? You will be bound by the bondage of work, and that is why you will fall back. See, falling back is already spoken in the previous verse, right? Then somebody might ask, okay, everywhere Krishna is saying fall back, fall down, will come back over here. So one may be elevated to a heavenly planet. Okay. But from the heaven, one will fall back down, after that punya gets exhausted. So the point may come up. So actually, what will happen is those who worship the demigods, Krishna is saying that they will fall back again. And what is the use of worshipping those devatas? And what is the difference from worshipping Krishna? So Krishna will, give a very nice summary verse, which is actually, most quoted verse of Srila Prabhupada. He says that Yanti deva vrata devam pitrun yanti pitravrata bhutani bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti mad yagno api mamaha. So he's saying that those who worship the demigod will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirit will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. So, uh, Krishna will, has given this summary verse, and Prabhupada has quoted many times this particular verse, right? If one has this desire to go to moon and the sun and any other planet, he can, go by that, and that is why he's saying that Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. Those who worship the Devatas will go to the demigod planet. And those who want to worship the ancestors, Pitrus, they will go to the Pitru planet. And so, if you see this particular verse, it tells the point that different paths lead to different destinations. हमने अब तक क्या सुना है? All paths lead to one destination. सब कुछ एक ही तो है, सब कुछ एक ही तो है. In Hindi, I had heard so many times that everything leads to one path only. सब कुछ उधर ही जा रहा है. But no, this verse very clearly is saying that different paths lead to different destinations, right? And it is very clear that all paths do not lead to the same destination, which is a very general conception of people. And that is the Prabhupada says that this Krishna conscious movement that is there, the Krishna conscious movement is therefore distributing sublime information to the entire human society to effect that by simply chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become perfect in this life and go back home, back to Godhead. So, most of Prabhupada's purports, if you see, focuses on this Yanti Mad Yagno Apimam. And where he's saying that, see, unfortunately, many people have no information of these sublime planets where Krishna and Vishnu live. And because they do not know of them, they fall down. And even the impossible fall down from the Brahma Jyoti. So, we were all in this category. We have fallen down. We are all in this one of this category. कोई तो एक कैटेगरी में से हम लोग नीचे आए हुए हैं, है ना? Either from some planet or some from impersonal Brahma Jyoti, we have fallen down. But if you see Prabhupada's mercy, that because of his mercy, we have an opportunity to perfect and go back home, back to Godhead, and return back to our eternal life over there. And now after that, Krishna will actually contrast devotional. No. This is which shloka? 25th. Yeah. He will contrast actually bhakti versus, or devotional service versus, the demigod worship in another way, like, in very terms of simplicity of worship. Like it's very easy to, do bhakti rather than following all those rituals and all. And so in Bhagavad Gita, when demigods are to be worshipped, elaborate yagyas has to be performed. Big, yagya samagris are required, and so much amount of, cow dung and ghee and fruits and grains and everything has to be. And soma rasa has to be provided. Then if all these are done properly, one can please the devatas. Give me just 1 second, okay? I'll just pick up. Sorry, there was a call from the temple. So when Krishna is speaking about this, yagna has to perform. So this somrasa also has to be, provided. And then if these demigods are pleased properly, then Krishna is saying that uh, instead of doing all these elaborate things, worshipping me is very simple, extremely simple. And this is what he's going to describe in the next verse. The 26th verse. This is one very beautiful verse, which we all know. He says that Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadham Bhakti Paritam Asnami Pradatmanaha. He says that if one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. When he is saying that Patram Pushpam Phalam, four things he is demanding. Patra means leaf, Pushpam means flower, Phalam means fruit, and Toyam means water. Okay, simply water. He's not even saying I want Bisleri water. Any river water, well water, ocean water will also do. And then he's saying that Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. When somebody offers me with devotion. And then he's saying that Tad Aham Bhakti Uparitam. Upahar. When he's saying that Bhakti Uparitam, offered in devotion. When I'm saying Upahar, Upahar is gift. So Uparitam, Uparitam is that which is offered to me with love. Then what will happen? Then he's saying that Asnami Prayat Atmana. From one in, I'm accepting it from someone who is pure in consciousness. Okay. So, in this verse, if you see, Bhaktya Prayachati word is used. Bhakti Uparitam is also used. Right? And Prayat Atmanam. Okay. Three words are showing that how is our consciousness from outside, from our side. हमारा क्या consciousness होना चाहिए? That there is devotion. Prayat Atmana is pure-hearted, right? If somebody wanted to approach Krishna with devotion, with love, and then Krishna reciprocates with such a person by, flooding that person with his kripa or mercy. And one aspect of the mercy is Krishna is accepting what is offered, even if it is very simple. Krishna is not saying that I want Chappan Bhog. Krishna is saying that one handful of chipped rice is also enough for me with love and devotion. So when, like for example, Krishna rejected Duryodhana's invitation for food at his house. And at the same time, Krishna explains that one eats at the other house in two conditions. In the Mahabharat Parva, in that Parva, he is explaining that when does somebody eat in somebody's house? कोई किसके घर पे क्यों खाता है? एक है because he is very hungry, okay? If one is hungry, secondly, or if they have very affection between themselves. So he is saying that I am not hungry because you are inimical towards my dear devotees who are the Pandavas. So I am not affectionate towards you because you are inimical towards my, Shuddh Bhaktas or pure devotees. So I will not eat. And then Krishna chose to go at Vidura's place. Vidura, although, connected with this royal family of Kurus, but he was very simple. He did not have much opulence. So when Krishna reached at Vidura's house, Vidura was not there, and Vidura's wife wanted to offer something to Krishna, but in that house there were only bananas, and in the excitement she wanted to offer actually the banana fruit and throw away the peels, but she's doing the reverse. She's giving the peels and throwing away the bananas, and Krishna is eating those peels also. So uh, uh, and eating those banana peels is such a, if somebody is eating the banana peels, is not really very, tasty. It is very tasteless, it is very difficult to eat. But Krishna keeps eating and eating. And uh, wow. And after many, he said that, no, okay, now I am satisfied. He eats many banana peels. It's not like that he eats only one banana peel and he says, okay, I'm satisfied. No, he's eating many banana peels till the time those bananas don't get over, right? And then he's saying, okay, now I'm satisfied. And Krishna left. And then Vidura came and said that, I heard that Krishna had come here, and his wife said, yes. And then both of them realized that actually Krishna had eaten peels of the banana fruit, and somehow their heart was filled with love. Even though Krishna ate those banana peels, their heart was filled with love. Now see, there is a principle over here, okay? When we are serving pure devotees, when we serve them with our heart, according to our own capacity, okay? When we are serving them with our heart, then our heart gets filled with love. In the case of Gajendra also offered a flower to Lord Narayana Vishnu. So when we say this leaf, uh, so when the leaf, patram, when I'm saying that Krishna had lost in this game of gambling with Rukmini, and Krishna was made to sit on that weighing scale, and on the other side so much of gold was put, it was not enough. But then when one leaf of tulsi was put, tulsi became heavier. So what pleases the Lord is actually our devotion, the devotion of our actually heart. And then if the expression of the devotion is simple also, it does not matter. But a devotee always wants to offer the best, whatever he has. When Sudama is offering some chipped rice, right, that was the best he could give Krishna, because that was the only thing that Sudama had with him, and that he was offering it to Krishna. The whole road he did not eat anything, because he was thinking, now, no, this is one gift I can give to Krishna. And he gave that one chipped handful of chipped rice. So, what is Prabhupada saying over here is that uh, he's saying over here that there is somewhere he says, meat and fish and egg should not be offered to Krishna. No meat items mentioned. Krishna does not take any of those things at all. Right? Krishna also accepts these things through a deity form also. Right? So whatever we get by offering to Krishna directly, we can get that same benefit by offering it to the deity form. So that is why if you see, uh, uh, I will accept it. Therefore, you have to understand that you will not accept meat, fish, eggs. Nothing can be, given to Krishna. And uh, somewhere he's saying that Hmm. See, Krishna, the supreme God, has senses, and it is stated that his senses are intangible, interchangeable. In other words, one can perform the function of another. This is what it means to say that Krishna is absolute. Lacking senses, he could hardly be considered full of opulences. Right? In the 7th chapter, Krishna impregnates living entities into this material world. This is done by his looking upon the material nature. And also Krishna's hearing the devotees' words of love is also offering foodstuffs is whole identical with his eating and actually. So see, Krishna's hearing the devotees' words of love in offering foodstuffs. When we are, what do you say? Offering food, there should be love. That many times, with me also this happens that so much in a hurry, you just, ring the bell and you, chant the mantras. It is all mechanical. So many times I also feel that, at least one bhoga offering that I'm doing in a day should be actually concentrated, focus. Now you please have is, you know, has to be, it does not have to be too mechanical. Only the devotee who accepts Krishna as he describes himself without interpretation can understand the absolute truth. They can eat food and enjoy it. And that is why, if you see, even in the Brahma Samhita, where Krishna is saying Angani, yes, Sakalendri, Vritti Manti, Krishna's senses are identical and interchangeable. And uh, uh, and we should not see, that is why he's saying over here that the form is not impersonal. Where it is said? Somewhere it is saying that the impersonal is. The impulsive people who wish to maintain the absolute truth without sense cannot comprehend this verse. Right? So, uh, the devotees take care of Krishna as a person. And, you know, in those pastimes, Krishna can exhibit his omnipotence. But devotees' focus is not in, examining that whether he is omnipotent or not. But devotees' focus is more on that how best service can I offer to Krishna. So when food is offered to Krishna, he accepts the devotion and he's returning his mercy. That is why we say prasad means Krishna's mercy. And he can also accept the food by glancing over it, right? For example, if a friend gives some eatable, in a box, and that family which receives it also returns the box filled with some other item. So if someone is observing, he may say that, eh, what is this? A box came inside and the same box goes outside. Nothing is happening. But what is exchanged is love, even if the box is the same and maybe the contents also could be the same or different, right? So when we are offering food, uh, we are offering our bhakti to him. And what we get back, eternally food is the same. Sorry, externally the food is the same. But, that has come back with his kripa or his mercy. So in this way, there is a reciprocation of love through the medium of food. So if you see now that devotees have this habit of offering everything. Even small children, I've seen that they will offer pencil and a rubber also to Krishna, and then they will start writing. Or I remember when we were small, any new book my mother had given, first we'll write, Hare Krishna. First thing we will write, we will offer it to Krishna over there. that, okay, this is Hare Krishna. So that consciousness that anything new that has come, who is the Bhoktaram, who is the, uh, 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 proprietor is Krishna. So let him enjoy first, and then we will use it as his mercy. That we will use it as his prasad or his mercy. So this is the love that a devotee has. Any new cloth, any new item, see, in India, no, most of the people have this consciousness. नया गाड़ी लिया, मंदिर तक जाएंगे, उसकी पूजा करवाएंगे, हार वार चढ़ाएंगे, नारियल फोड़ेंगे. They know that this has to be offered. They know that this has to be offered. And there are so many people till date also, those who are not even into the Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya. They know that when I have to cook food, first I have to offer it to the Lord. They might be offering to different people. But they know that ultimate Bhokta, there is somebody Bhokta before me also. And then they know that it will be, but the reciprocation of that love between the Lord and his devotee is through that material thing that is there, which will be spiritualized by the Supreme Lord and be given to us. Ultimately, what we are offering? We are offering matter to Krishna only, no? If you are offering grains, that is also matter. If you are offering everything, earth, water, fire, air, ether, everything what is being created by the Lord, we are offering only matter to him. But how that matter converts into spirit, that magic actually is done by Krishna. When he is glancing on that particular object, and when he glances, we know his glance is such a loving glance that we also become filled with love of Krishna. He is giving us that love. And then we go and share that love with others through preaching. So we don't keep it to ourselves. We want to distribute it to others. And Srila Prabhupada exhibited that highest level of love that he received from Krishna, and he did not keep it to himself. He went out of India and he distributed to the whole world. That love which he has experienced it. So he's not a miser, he's not a kripana, he's a brahmana. And a brahmana is supposed to liberally give. Right? So this is what is being said in this 26th shloka. And I just like to read from the Gita Subodhini what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has to say. Love is the only qualification to serve Krishna. Krishna is self-sufficient and is not in need of anything from anyone. Yet he accepts the offering of his devotee in an exchange of love and affection. No one is barred from bhakti because it is so easy and universal. Even the poorest of the poor can attempt to do Krishna bhakti. The sign of purity is one's bhakti is that he has no motivations in his service to Krishna. He can never give up such service anytime. Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse in order to declare emphatically that bhakti or devotional service is the only means to approach Krishna. No other conditions such as becoming a scholar, a rich man, or a philosopher can induce Krishna to accept some offering. This also indicates that Krishna is a person who reciprocates with pure love. He is not impersonal, or some people imagine, as some people imagine. So, this is what some people think that, oh, he's some imaginary light or some imagination. And then, no, Krishna is a person. And that's how Krishna has to be worshipped. So, what is the only qualification? Love is the only qualification. Now, somebody might question भाई ये लव कैसे जागृत करेंगे, किस तरह से जागृत कर सकते हैं हम ये लव? वी डोंट हैव दैट लव. I don't have love for Krishna. How will I invoke that love for Krishna? So to invoke that love, that dormant, see, every human being, every living entity loves Krishna. It's not like that all of a sudden this person fell and now he has no love. No, right from the beginning of his existence, he loves Krishna, but because he has fallen down to this material planet, he is covered. His consciousness is covered. And when he associates with those pure devotees who have abundance of love for Krishna, this person's dormant state of love for Krishna gets invoked. Just as, fire is there under the, under that, what do you say, rock, or what is there? Under the wood, that is fire is there, but it only needs to be ignited. And that work of ignition is done by a pure devotee. Because he has ignited himself with the fire of love for Krishna, he can make us also contagious with the love of Krishna. अभी एक लकड़ी के पास अग्नि है तो दूसरी उसके पास जाएगी तो that wood will also catch fire, no? So if I am going near a pure devotee and associating with that pure devotee, I will also be ignited with the love of Krishna. That contagious is the association of a pure devotee. Lava matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoy. Even a second's association with a pure devotee will invoke my lost love for Krishna. And yes, added to that, when you follow the instructions of the spiritual master, a pure devotee, when you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, when you follow whatever he says, automatically there will be love for Krishna. It will be very swabhaviki. It will be very natural for a person to fall in love with Krishna. That will become his default mode. And a default mode किसी का होता है ना? His default mode is that he is chanting. The default mode of Haridas Thakur was he was chanting 24/7. Even if he was in sleep, he was chanting. That will become our default mode also when we will not think about anybody else other than Krishna. When we will fix our mind, we started with that only, fixing the mind on Krishna, right? That Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, right? We started with Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, that when he will not have any other chintan, no other thinking other than Krishna, then, he will be coming to that particular state of a love for Krishna. Like the mother, Mother Yashoda was all the time thinking about Krishna. Mother is thinking all about the child only. That okay, now the child's time to come from school, now I will cook this, now I will make him eat this, then I will fold his clothes, wash his clothes, I will put him to sleep, I will see to it. Every time she is vigilant enough, बच्चे ने सुसु तो नहीं किया है, he's not urinated in the bed, she's all the time vigilant. A slight from the child also at night while sleeping, she's vigilant enough. So this is the consciousness of a pure devotee also when he falls in love with Krishna. And that is why he will, attain that pure love of Krishna, and he will attain that planet where he does not have to come back over here. See, अभी तक हम लोग बोल रहे हैं ना कि he will fall down again, patanti adho, he will fall down again, shine punya marte loka, he will fall down again. But now, when he will be with his eternal position, then he does not fall down from that position. He will be with Krishna, हमारा साधन and साध्य will be the same here only. Sadhan means what? Our means, है ना? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. And our sadhya or our goal is what? Krishna, right? So over here also we are doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. There also we will do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. For us, this material world is a practice ground to go and play the final match over there eternally. We'll be there with Krishna because our attitude will be to only serve Krishna over there and not enjoy from Krishna over there. The enjoyment part will be a byproduct of that service. And again, that enjoyment will enhance more service towards Krishna. But for us, our goal is pleasing Krishna. Our sadhya is pleasing Krishna. So I rest my speech over here. If anybody has any queries, questions, doubts, you can ask me. Give me 1 minute, okay? Anybody has any questions, doubts, queries?
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Shubhangi, I can hear you.
Mataji, when would be our exam, the next exam?
Chapter.
No, Mataji, tentative because
You will know 1 month before. 1 month's time, but we have to start preparing, you know. You have to start writing your answers immediately. Like, in fact, I told you last time also. Before a particular chapter starts also, my answers will be ready. You know, because I'm also studying Bhagavatam at the moment. So before a chapter starts or before even a unit starts, because I am doing a course where we have Monday to Friday classes in the morning, right? So before a unit starts, next week a unit is going to start. My answers will be written beforehand only because those questions are not outside Prabhupada's purports or outside the Bhagavad Gita. So even on a daily basis, you write 2 answers also. दो answers लिखने का भी आप प्रण ले लेते हो. Or reciting 2 shlokas also. By the end of 6 months, definitely you will be able to, remember and memorize all the answers and the shlokas also. Like our Matsyendra Prabhu, he is reciting shlokas now only. He has taken a vow that as soon as a unit starts and that unit's shlokas, I will recite them as daily prayers. So daily he is reciting those 10-12 shlokas which are going to be there for the shloka test. And that's how at a senior citizen level also, where actually memory does not work so properly. कभी कभी memory में ध्यान भी बहुत जल्दी नहीं रहता है. He in his shloka test was able to flawlessly recite all the shlokas. So for me also it became, a very inspirational thing that any unit, before that unit I used to start, by that end of that week, my shlokas are recited already. So at least for 1 week, on a daily basis, I'm reciting those shlokas. And by the end, because every Saturday, Sunday, we have examinations, okay? Somebody or the other is taking our examination on every Saturday, Sunday. So every Saturday, Sunday, I'm giving those shloka tests flawlessly. This was a very good idea that Matsyendra Prabhu se mujhe mila. And thank you, Matsyendra Prabhu, for that. So we can also start. We can also start writing. Yeah. So anytime the test comes 1 week before, we are ready for the test. Okay. Any other question?
Madhaji, could you the questions which are there in the handbook for open book, those are the questions, right? So we can at least start जो आपने हैंडबुक दिया है उसमें जो ओपन बुक के क्वेश्चंस है वही क्वेश्चंस है ना?
Open book,
Open book.
given a long back, I've given a PDF.
Yes, Mataji, I have that PDF.
From
Just
there
cross
only
check.
you start.
There
Yes,
only we will prepare.
yes, from there only you have to start for the open book also.
Can
है
you
माताजी,
please
हमको कितने मार्क्स मिले हैं पिछले एग्जाम में?
It's not checked as yet. When it will be checked, I will tell you all. They give me actually, so I've been asking them, but no result has come as yet, because different brahmacharis were busy with different other sevas also.
hey, can you kindly share again those questions?
Yeah, Prabhu, I'll share again. Yes, I'll share again. You want the OBA question, no, Lakshmi Narayan Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. First OBA we have to write.
Okay, I'll give the OBA questions. Fine. Anybody else has any questions, queries, doubts? Okay, thank you so much for joining in. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat.
Dandavat Prabhu. Prabhuji.